Good greetings to all. Hope you're all having a great day, great night, wherever you are in the world. And wishing you a great weekend as well, of course, as we're going into it soon. As promised, I am here to educate a little bit upon the white flame and the transformation of the double into the golden lion aspect. As mentioned before, in regards to the white flame post that was made, which is an empowerment given by Saint Michael the Archangel, as we all know him as. In addition, of course, to the white flame and everything which has been discussed in that post, for those who haven't seen it, of course, you may click into the channel and enter there, and you will see the descriptions and everything that you need to know about this particular gift and transformation, of course, which can be bestowed upon thee. Now, in regards to the second part as what this can do, apart from all the attributes that we said that the goblet of white flame of Saint Michael can do, which can transform you severely and empower your white light, it can, of course, and shall grant you the transformation and powerful shapeshift of your double into the white lion. Now, what does that mean? Few spirits can grant such a transformation. This transformation can be granted on equally dark and light attributes. Being able to transform into a lion or a bear is some of the attributes that very few spirits possess. Very few powers can bestow upon one. It's not for everyone, of course. Those of you who are to be chosen for such a gift shall come forth when the time is right for all of you. For nothing is merely given as such. Certain individuals come forth questioning and asking constantly if they can receive this and that or what have you. It doesn't work this way. It never did and never shall. It hasn't worked this way since the creation of time, if you may know. For the world was different as it is now. For the world as you perceive it never existed to begin with. All of this that you know is nothing but a new concept. So, what we bring forth here is the true inner knowledge which is hidden from mankind. So when you step forth into this, know that if it has called to you, this is for you. If you are struggling to make sense of it and seek for a guiding spot to begin with, this is for you. If you have been approached before your request, this is for you. If you merely seek profit and exploitation, don't. It's not gonna go down well. It never really does. 99% of the time you'll just be ignored, and the remaining 1% is always ugly for those who can accord for it. Some of us never had a choice to choose, and it went ugly for no reason at all as well. This path ain't safe, I'm being honest to all. It's not for everyone. But enough ranting. Back to our subject. Let's say you have performed, or you have not performed, the goblet of white flame transformation from Saint Michael. You will have to perform it. You will have to get into it and do it, as it will activate the energy points which we require. It shall open the doors within which you need, enable to transform as you seek. Once you transform, let's start from the beginning. To receive the goblet of the white flame, first you should invoke Saint Michael for 7 days. Your invocations matter not. It can be any divine prayer which you may find within Bibles, within scripts of whatever have you that is related to him. You may use Latin prayers and invocations or any other prayer for any religion which you are more than aware of or connected to. That shall work as well. He's not very fuzzy. But the greatest way to have a real connection and to establish the greatest of connections shall be to create a prayer of your own. Once you create a prayer of your own, you have opened a divine golden light portal within the universe, which has your own soul signature, which is divine and unique as your own little fingerprint upon this world, for everyone is unique. There are billions of you out there in the world. Now, one is the same. Many of you are similar as attributes, as souls, as people, but not one is the same. And not one ever shall be. Just because you incarnate into different bodies doesn't mean you will be the same. Not one flesh has the exact same print, and not one flesh has the exact same energy. Your soul shall be transmuted and regenerated as you incarnate into this world, time upon time again. That is how God works, for he is great and all that. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, perform this transformation. Once you perform it, you may ask him directly for the transformation of the lion spirit within, and he shall bestow that upon you. Now, to enable this transformation, after the 7-day invocation prayer, as we mentioned, what have you, to Saint Michael, you have to perform an act which shall enable great energy expenditure within you. What does that mean? It simply means that you have to perform acts that bring you into this energy. So, some of you are on the musical side, so you shall have to listen to a particular part of music that will enable this function, that will make you get into the rush, as you all call it. Now, if you are not much of the music side, you are more on the physical side, you shall need to get into exercise, which will enable this fire to take place. Bear in mind, fires are not always of the dark arts. Just because you've all black or red flame doesn't mean you cannot enable golden flame upon you, or the white flame for that matter. It's all about what energy center within you seek to empower and to activate, of course. Nothing but common sense. All is energy, and there is all kinds of energy. There's never one kind of energy or two kinds of energies, dark and light, as people think. There are many colors, both above and below, of course, yes. But most people are not aware. But that's why we're here, to teach and to honor priesthoods and pacts and such that have been taken a while ago. Now, once you get into that energy, once you get into that particular emotion that gets you going, it can be anything from a little jog to a galloping run to heavy bag work where you just go. But not when you start. It has to be at the point where your body heats up and you're already starting to sweat. You're not exhausted, but you are starting to give gas, as we say. You're ready to go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Once you hit that level, then you can use this meditation where you shall see yourself flying up above the clouds, and you stand before the sun himself. Nothing but the sky and sun is there above the clouds, and you have nothing but a feeling of complete fulfillment. You feel content, fulfilled, You have no thoughts, no desires, no worries, no problems. You simply exist in perfect peace, in perfect alignment with the Creator's energy, which is the sun. And then you start running upon these clouds. Start running. Do this as you run. Do this as you go on the bag, whatever gets you going. Do this as you listen to your favorite metal song. It matters not what gets you into that energy. We need that energy flow to go. Once that goes, each and every time you breathe out, see yourself looking above and perform a lion roar. Of course, you don't need to start roaring as you run or as you punch a bag. That would be absurd to those who are watching you. But you ought to visualize it as it occurs, as it happens. And keep doing it as long as it takes. Time differs, but usually this is a lengthy process. It's going to take about half an hour. It's not an easy thing. It's not a quick button fix. This meditation. Start running and keep seeing each and every time you exhale yourself performing. Instead of a breathe out sound, you shall roar like a lion. When that occurs, see yourself slowly shifting as you run. Get into that energy. Get into the lion energy. Feel the power. Feel the wrath most of all. Wrath is very important in transformations of the light. You cannot go into angelic workings without wrath within you. I'm sorry. The truth of the matter is that when it comes to reaching a particular energy of the higher orders, starting from the powers and above, you shall not be able to reach it without wrath. The whole love and light concept is a scam. You will never reach the higher angelic realms without wrath or without the war fire burning within you. The only difference between the darkness and the light when it comes to this war fire is, why do you have the war fire? Do you have the war fire simply to destroy and vent? Or do you have the war fire in order to protect others? Are you a destroyer or are you a protector? This is what shall make the difference between the light and dark war fires within you. This is what shall bring different spirits upon you. Whatever it is that you seek to subscribe to, this is where you shall subscribe. For there shall be two ways to go, left and right. So you can choose. And as you do that, you shall see yourself slowly shifting into this lion of golden light, shining as you keep going and roaring and running and sprinting. And you shall see white wings spreading out of that lion. Now, when it comes to the darker aspect, the lion transformation can be given to those who shall perform a devotion. A devotion must be made to Papa Elegua. He may or may not bestow this blessing upon you, and the shifting shall be different. What happens is, you may use this sigil which we have in the channel of Dark Soul Gnosticism. Links are within the description. Put your blood upon there. Chant that end 4 times as you have buried it within a graveyard. And leave 3 5-cent coins at a 4-way crossroads within that graveyard in the shape of a triangle. And of course you shall summon him. And then you may leave. Before you leave, make sure you have some alcohol to first of all spit upon that sigil 3 times while putting it in your mouth. This is very significant. Your DNA is required here. And walk around clockwise to the right. Don't go left. It's not gonna go well. And start spraying the alcohol to the graves of the dead. make a full circle completely around the graveyard. You don't need to get each and every grave if the graveyard is massive, and the graveyard should be massive. But go around and do all that. Have 2 bottles if needed. Make sure you either have red wine or a strong liquor, Hennessy, vodka, whiskey, or keep the dead content. And then leave. That shall be your devotion to Father Elegua. And when he comes to you, you may ask for his blessings and transformations, and you shall devote yourself to him and to the necromantic spirit of the crossroads. Know that your soul shall remain serving the crossroads in lives to come if you do this, so make sure you know what you're doing. If you are here searching for Father Elegua, just know that you are here simply because there is a severe past life connection of necromancy. Not necessarily directly to African tribes or to Father Elegua. Elegua being another sacred name which you may and should use, by the way, in your invocations. When you go into this, you may ask him for this devotion and transformation. He may or may not bestow it upon you, but it's always worth asking. Things are never certain with the law, so take it as it comes. Nevertheless, part of your transformations may be to require the black obsidian lion transformation that he may give, which he will take you into his blessings. He shall transform your double according to his image, and you shall receive his staff, which is wooden with a skull and has 3 Indian-looking feathers pointing downwards, coming out of the skull's black rear side. And he shall bring together to you all of the dead warriors of the African tribes, which are dressed in animal furs and clothing, all as black shadows, but you shall see the outlines of the furs. Then they have white shining eyes. They are heavily attributed to many energies and planets, but the moon is your best friend with these workings. Make sure you perform this work at a dark moon too. And they shall transform you as such. They can also shift into a pack of lions. Usually they tend to be female for the males and male for the females. It's very tribal and patriarchic. So if you are a male, together will be female that shall come to you. And when you shift into that lion, they shall shift into the female lions. And if you're a female, you shall shift into a female lion, and they shall shift into male lions, and they shall be your protectors. And that's how it works. So that's as much as knowledge goes to these powerful transformations for those who are to receive them. As said, not everyone shall receive them. I hope this helps your development. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves all you can in this life, because the worlds beyond are nothing that you've ever seen. They are not to be compared to this world or to what you know here. Try to be as happy as you can, of course, because going through this transformation bitter is difficult for most to handle. Yet again, let nobody tell you that wrath and vengeance are not powerful tools. They can rip the manifestations of this world. Imagine you are 3 hours deep into a Saturnian ritual where you open the gates of Saturn and you summon the dead at the crossroads. And there is no notification before or even after this ritual of any weather changes. And 3 a.m. in the morning, you open your curtains to look outside, and you see an impenetrable fog that covers all as far as you can see. And there is all the spirits of the dead staring at you. That is power. Only people tell you that these dark apprehensions are not useful to you and that you should only subscribe to love and light. For too much light makes the world blind, and too much darkness makes the world lost. Know what you subscribe to. And that is all from my side. Wishing you a great night. Rise and conquer. Reveles tenebras tua.